Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are. I am Cousin Cheeto with Nerd Nation. I am joined by my usual cohort in crime, Zamario, or Zam, as he's calling himself today.
Hi.
Today, we are going to talk about the three most recent DC animated movies released because, well, I'm an overworked American and I just hadn't had a chance to watch them until now. I think Zam has seen two, for the most part, two of the three of these movies. So we'll start with
Mhm.
those two. We're going to start with the most relevant of these movies, which is the most recent, Death in the Family, a Batman story is what I call it, or a Red Robin story. We can call it that. There we go. See, I'm bad at making this stuff up on the fly. So I know that you were kind of hodgepodge and watching it with your completely legal ways to watch it, Zam.
Of course.
Um, so I'll just give my impressions really quick. My impressions are this was really good. I really had fun with this. My only issue is I think they're gonna have a hard time doing this with other stories. Now you might be able to. This has got to be a Batman thing. It unless you do more of a detective story type scenario with Superman or the Justice League, the interactive thing has kind of got to be Batman's thing because you just it really gives itself to the Batman way of doing things, and especially the Red Hood story because there's so many different outcomes that you could do, which we saw on this. Zan, what were your impressions of this interactive movie that you watched ish?
I, I I did like it, but at the same time, something like this might have appealed to me if I was a bit younger, because of the length of the story. It was quite short.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Regarding what you said about only this sort of niche could be done with the Batman, I disagree. I think how you got to look at it is that it's should weapon if Batman or the Justice League went with, like, they split up and it was this group which went that way and that group went that way, or maybe certain people from this group went that way, or the group changed dynamics, or two or three people mixed up with the group and went that way and some people went that way, or someone went through
I
that door. You see what I mean? It can change. They decide to kill this person, not kill this person.
I
It
agree with
can,
you, but I think that's more of a Telltale game. Like I think that you're
yeah.
getting into Telltale game territory, whereas I think with the way this story is being told, the Red Hood storyline, I really
Hmm.
feel like this is more of a like you kind of have it on a single, almost like a scene, like because let's be real, this was more of a Jason Todd movie than it was a Batman movie.
Yeah, it was 100%. How his life. I mean, it was so much of a Jason Todd movie that he was still relevant to the film, even when it came to the storyline of him dying, and that's how relevant he was. I found this to be very fan servicey. Very fan servicey. Okay, we'll throw in Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, all these fuckers.
I thought
For
that was
so,
just funny, actually.
I didn't mind it, but it felt like they were just trying to fill in the gaps for the sake of story, to make all these different storylines. Um, if you're gonna put them in there, like, fucking show us their faces too. You know what I mean? Only seeing the top half only seeing the lower half of their body, so you can recognize the suits, whilst not seeing them. Apart from Clark Kent, of course, who was in Clark Kent mode. It wasn't a Superman. Um, it was all right. Does it lead you anywhere? Like, the problem with these sort of things, with these multiple story arcs, is that how do you progress from this? Like, they have to be a one and done sort of in
Yeah, and
universe sort
that's
of
what I'm
thing.
saying. Like
You
it
you
has
can't progress with another story if there's so many different branching storylines. You
to.
know what I mean?
I agree, and I mean that's the thing. It has to be a one and done. So that's why I'm saying like you might be able to do this with like a Hush, or a Batman Year One, or I'm trying to think of another hero to do this with, and honestly, I don't think you can.
I
Like,
think you could do it with the Flash, like, depending on regarding
yeah,
time travel, and if he did this and
okay,
that, and
okay, I'll give you that one. The Flash, I
yeah,
can see. Yeah, I can see the Flash because like they do like a Flashpoint interactive movie
yeah.
where the choices you make change the timeline or whatever, yada yada. Um, but yeah, I mean that's as I
Was he
said,
quick enough to save the person? Was he not quick enough to save the person? It's all
yeah,
relevant. You know what I mean? Um, And same with Superman too. You know what I mean? Does he decide? You know, like you could put not necessarily detective scenarios, but you could definitely put what if scenarios with a lot of these characters regarding whether they in Batman's case did he save Jason Todd or he didn't? Or did he die while saving him or he didn't? You know, all
So
of these sort of things they can be put. Those elements can be put with anybody in any scenario.
let me close that door. Put the bird. Actually, I wanna kind of go back because the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, I want to save Jason Todd. I want to save him. And then my jaw dropped after I realized, oh, I saved Jason Todd, but Batman died. I'm like, it's a monkey's paw situation. It's just like, shit. So
Batman dying is becoming a more and more common thing in comics and media, and I don't mind that because you need to create different branching storylines, and you need his sidekicks. I mean, there's 4 fucking Robins for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? You need them to shine. Obviously, no one ever thinks of Dick Grayson as Robin anymore. He is 100% Nightwing, as far as I'm concerned.
right.
Because you've got so many Robins, you might as well make him Nightwing full time now.
Well, but that's why you have. I mean, yeah, you have Nightwing, you have Red Hood. You have Red Robin now, which is Tim Drake. Which honestly, I think they now call him Drake. I think They changed his name recently in the comics. Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. Like,
come on, you don't need with Drake.
Yeah,
what's wrong with Timothy? I have no problem with that name at all, man.
He's just gonna run around with his first name.
Weird.
Joker's gonna go through and kill everybody with the first name Tim.
Yeah.
Until he finds Red Robin.
I didn't like the one where Jason kills Joker. I didn't like that at all. Not because I didn't like the fact that Joker died. I didn't like how it was executed. I thought it was very poor, bad writing in my opinion. You know, I'm just gonna walk into this restaurant. Oh, I just happen to be sitting next to a reformed fucking Joker. You know, it was just very convenient, and I didn't like it at all.
Okay, I mean, let's run through some of the scenarios really quick because that's kind of what I wanted to do. Okay. So the first one, I'm going to go through the order I did.
I might not have seen them all because I haven't seen all of them, but I don't mind you spoiling anything for me. But I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, the first one, as I said, that I did was that Batman saves Robin, but Batman dies. So then you have the choice after that to catch Joker or kill Joker. So with that, you get the whole, he becomes the Red Hood. He starts hunting the Joker. And this is the one I didn't like where you catch the Joker, but it's like, then you may not have seen this one, I don't think. But then as the Red Hood, he's been killing people, but not remembering it. He's been suppressing it. And he doesn't realize this until he catches up to the Joker in that scene on the truck. And the Joker's like, "Oh, I admire your work." He's like, and Jason Todd's like, "I haven't killed anybody. I've done it just like Batman would." And he's like, "Are you kidding? You chopped off their lieutenants' heads, and you killed Black Mask, and you did all this." And all of a sudden, it's coming back to him, and it's just like, it's kind of dumb. I didn't like the fact that he was
very dumb.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Was my first one, and I'm like, okay.
Well, who the fuck do you think he is? Typhoid Mary? I mean, he's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I mean, fucking stupid.
I mean, you know me. I'm the good guy, and I try. So of course, I left Joker to be caught by Gordon and them. So, because there's a choice then where you can either kill Joker then or apprehend him. So what happens is I picked apprehend. So of course, Jason Todd knocks out Joker, and then Gordon gets him, and that's the end. In the other one where you kill Joker while you're at the truck, then. Jason Todd then becomes I think Red Robin. And then that's when he has the encounter with Two-Face at the end. And then there are 2 options there where either you can choose the good side of Two-Face's coin or the bad side. And if you pick the good side, Two-Face decides that he is going to do Gotham a favor and kill Red Robin because he's a menace or something. I don't remember. But then he is saved by Tim Drake, the child, like little Tim Drake.
As Robin.
Yeah. And
as Robin as well. So there's 2 Robins.
No. He's not as Robin. No, it's just little Tim Drake. He's there at the mall. And so, before Two-Face can off Red Robin, uh, Tim Drake uses the stunner from behind and stuns Two-Face. Then Red Robin goes to kill Two-Face while he's down, and then Tim Drake puts the gun on Red Robin and basically gives him a really nice spiel about the morals of Batman and yada yada and second chances. And it's actually really good. I really liked it. If you haven't seen that, you need to watch it.
Interesting. Tim Drake has been working as Robin prior to this, yeah?
No.
So he doesn't even know who Batman is.
He doesn't. He doesn't know who Batman is. He just
That's a bit weird.
Batman and Red Robin.
Tim Drake was trained under Batman, so for Batman to be dead and him not to know who, it's a bit weird. But okay, all right, I'll go.
No, he just doesn't. Well, no, he doesn't know who Batman. He doesn't know who his secret identity is, but he knows of Batman. But
interesting. Okay.
But then at the end, so Red Robin then takes Tim Drake under his wing, and Tim Drake becomes Batboy or something. It's you got to watch that one. That's kind of goofy at the end, but it's actually a really good scene. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So that scenario was really good. The bad side of the coin is when Two-Face is basically like, look at you, you're a steaming pile of crap on Batman's grave, and and I'm going to let you live so you can live with all the stuff that you
Wait.
He's basically dishonored Batman. I think that's when we go to the rooftop.
I want to quickly interject here. It would have been better if it landed on the good side. He lets him live and then gives him that monologue about living with the guilt of killing Batman and stuff. But that makes sense because he's letting him live, but he's also being an arsehole by telling him about living with the guilt. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if it lands on the bad side, I'm going to do Gotham a favor and kill you. That makes sense. What you told me doesn't make sense, and it really. If you think about how I've explained it, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. It's kind of backwards, but Two-Face is a nutcase anyway.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck what side of the coin it lands. He's going to make his own argument for however it lands, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe the Red Robin thing was after the diner with the Joker. I should have written it down, and I didn't. I'm sorry, but anyway, so the other one is when you're So when you get back, after Bruce dies, and then the other branch essentially is he becomes Hush, and no, that's what if he narrowly escapes, he becomes Hush, and then I think
everyone's become Hush now.
Yeah,
Hush feels like a universal character.
Well, but there was a time in the comic of Hush where that Batman thought that Hush was Jason Todd.
Okay, fair enough.
This was before Red Hood. This was before all of that. So, I mean, that was kind of their experiment, but it was actually Clayface and yada yada yada.
Oh yeah, Clayface has been Hush as well.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot about that one. Oh well, Riddler has. Shit.
So, but the bottom line is that at some points it comes to a head at the top of Wayne Tower where, Robin is feeling remorseful about stuff that he's done, whether he's killed the Joker, whether he hasn't killed the Joker, there's a point where the cops try to arrest him at the diner, and you can either surrender, which all I can describe it as is if you surrender, you go to jail and you become the Machine Gun Kelly version of Robin in jail. But I mean, a lot of these roads come to a head at the top of Wayne Tower, where Talia al Ghul comes back, and
I've seen a few of them with her.
Yeah, and she's with Batman, resurrected Batman from the Lazarus pit.
Yep, I saw that one.
He's of course a zombie, and then you can either fight, life or death, which is if you choose life, then you save Batman. But he's basically like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they have him locked up, and they're going to try to rehabilitate him. The other one is death.
Do they know he's Bruce Wayne when they rehabilitate him?
Who? What?
Batman. You said Batman's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, yeah?
Yeah.
So they lock him up in Arkham Asylum?
No. The Bat Family. The Bat Family.
Oh, the League of Assassins.
The Bat Family.
Oh, the Bat Family. Okay.
The Bat Family take him back to the Batcave after.
So Barbara, Nightwing, all those guys.
That's if you choose life because Jason Todd beats him, and so I think I don't remember. I think he knocks out Talia, and knocks out Batman, and and Dick shows up and takes, and Jason and Dick take him back to the Batcave, and they try to, and it just insinuates that they're rehabilitating him. But I mean, he's basically like this zombie Batman type thing. And then if you choose Death, which is I think the one you saw, where he stabs Batman in the chest, and then
Batman, him in the arm.
Yeah, Batman blows the three of them up.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. That was crazy. Like, he just accepted it as well. You might have someone like Jason Todd knows there's always a chance to escape, even at that moment, and he just accepted it, and all three of them died.
And then the one last thread, and this is the last one I remember is, and I just lost it. Oh, when they're on the rooftop of a church. I think it was the hush line at the rooftop of a church.
Baby Damien.
Yeah, Baby Damien shows up. Talia shows up with Baby Damien, and Talia gives Baby Damien to Two-Face looking Jason Todd. And then of course he's gonna raise Damien as his son and turn him against Batman and the League of Assassins, and yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Judas Contract. And that's really it. I mean, those are all the scenarios, and I know they were kind of hosh posh together, but yeah, I suck at doing this. So
no, you did all right. You
but I mean, good indication for me, it's definitely worth a watch. If there's eventually a way on YouTube that you like, everybody can watch it just as like a straight thing, I would recommend doing that, only because it's interesting to see all the outcomes. And some of them are longer and some of them are shorter. I mean, obviously Jason Todd is a big freaking deal in the Bat family and all the trauma that he's gone through. So I don't know from what you've seen and what you've heard, what do you think, Zam?
It was okay, but it was all right. I mean, like a lot of these story arcs and stuff like that. I mean, they're very familiar. They're not necessarily treading new ground all the time, and at the same time they are. But because it's not a story arc with a possible narrative for the future, I guess they can make all these different things up. So it's very I can't think of the word, but I don't know. But within myself, I don't know how to feel about this regarding the future. I just know for what it is as a piece of work, it's very cleverly done to a degree, but some of the writing and some of the scenarios were awful. I didn't like somehow certain things, but like I said, Joker being in the cafe with Jason.
That's the only thing that I was kind of like, I agree with you, that wasn't that great, but that was the only thing. But then I think a lot of the other outcomes were really good. I think him doing
you mentioned the Harvey Dent coin situation, which was in reverse. Bad writing again, in my opinion.
I don't think it's bad writing. I see your point, but I don't agree that it's bad writing.
Well, I say it's bad writing in how they executed it. If they just switched it around, it would have been good writing. But because they didn't, it kind of seems a bit stupid that he kills him when he lands on the good side and lets him live when it lands on the bad side. That is not Harvey Dent at all. You know what I mean? If it lands on the fucking bad side, you're a dead man. That's it. I mean, you're a dead man. That's how it's always been.
I see your point, but until you said that, I really didn't think about it. So
yeah,
I don't think it was. I mean, it wasn't that much of a sticking point for me.
And I think some things felt a little bit rough for the sake of trying to get everything done, and they obviously compressed it for some reason in a short period of time. I mean, I'm sure they can improve on this if they do it again. And they can definitely make it a better version of this if they do it again. So, prop for them trying something different, I guess.
Mm-hmm. As I said, I thought this was a great idea. It was a great experiment. It was a great movie to start it with. I wouldn't mind having one of these like either every other year, maybe, because I know they do about 3 to 4 animated movies a year. So, I mean, I know they're kind of running out of ideas, although I could give them some ideas, but it depends on also what sells. I mean, that's the other problem is that, if things don't, if like I've been waiting for a Sinestro Corp War animated movie forever. And and that could be a Justice League movie, but now that they've kind of ended the shared animated universe for at least the time being. I was hoping for that before they did Apocalypse War, but there's a bunch of movies that they can, or storylines that they can adapt into these animated.
Warner Brothers owns DC, yeah. Is that
Mhm.
correct? Lock, stock, and barrel of it, yeah. Every aspect of it,
Every element of it, yes.
comics, everything, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem then when it comes to some of their television and film media, because they hedge their bets always on fucking Batman.
Yeah.
And that's always been the problem. They have a
Last year-
fucking massive roster. Sorry, Bob. They have a massive roster of fucking stars. They don't need to hedge their fucking. I mean, Batman doesn't have to be in anything, and it would still fucking work because the other stars are just as good.
Last year was the first year in the animated line history that there was a year without a Batman-centric movie. Now, Batman was in Superman Red Son, but it wasn't focused on Batman at all. So 2019 was the first year in animated film history since 2007 that there was no Batman-centric movie, period. And nice. I mean, they had some good movies last year. I mean, I really liked a lot of them.
Batman's always been like that moral core, not like a heart or a sincerity, but just a moral core. Yeah, so that you don't cross the line to being the bad guy. And sorry,
I feel like he's kind of like he's more the bar of worthy for like Thor's hammer. Like he's not pure of heart, but he's willing to, he knows what has to be done for the greater good to get the job done. I mean, you don't have to, obviously with Thor, you don't have to be pure to wield Thor's hammer. It's not because Captain America's pure that he could lift the hammer, but I think Batman honestly would be one of the other people that could lift Thor's hammer, is because there's a core morality there, but also a willingness to do what needs to be done for the greater good, no matter the cost.
Fair enough.
So, okay. So with that being said, let's move on to the movie that you did see a little bit ago, but Superman: Man of Tomorrow.
Yes. I like Penny's version of it, the douche of tomorrow.
Well,
I thought that was hilarious.
I went into this movie really not knowing. I mean, this is the first DC animated movie after their extended universe ended. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Another origin story, yada, yada. But they kind of took a different route to it, because they really haven't done this type of origin story with Superman in this animated form yet. It kind of shows a little bit of his childhood, but then it shows him kind of, coming into his own as a young adult at the Daily Planet, kind of learning, not really learning about his powers, but more like learning that he wants to become a hero. And then I love the fact that they kick that off with Lobo, because I think Lobo is one of he's like the Deadpool of DC. Like, he's kind of meta, but I mean, he's also that just douchebag that's just a douchebag for douchebag's sake. And I don't know. I mean, he's really great. He's, so I think that's a great antithesis. I think that's the right word I'm looking for.
John Jones as well.
And John Jones showing up, which is another. I mean, those two, Superman and Martian Manhunter, have always had a
good tag team.
Good tag team together. I mean, but yeah. So I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. I thought this was going to be a boring movie that I was like, man, the Lobo parts will be good, but I don't know about the rest of it. And I actually enjoyed the entire thing, from beginning to end. You get into the Parasite of things. Everybody knows Parasite at this point. He leeches powers. Superman finds that out the hard way, like normal. And so they're fighting Parasite. Parasite gets Kryptonian powers and Manhunter powers, but they only last for a little while. They try to use kryptonite on him, but Superman's powers had already worn off. He's now the big purple version of Godzilla at this point. And Superman basically says, look, you're calling him alien scum, but actually I'm the alien, and he's a human who just is a tragic accident. of Lobo's making, by the way. And
of
Lobo,
alien scum. He's just...
yeah, yeah. And so what ends up happening is Parasite ends up saving the city because Superman kind of gets through to him, and
Pep talk.
he had a pep talk, and I mean, was it predictable? Kinda, but was it pretty well done? I think it was well done. I mean, it was kind of the movie, and I know a lot of people don't like Man of Steel, but it's kind of the movie that I think Man of Steel could have been if it was not under Zack Snyder's belt. I mean, I liked Man of Steel, but it's not because of the way it went. It's because I like the way that they put it together. But I feel like that if we had more of a lighter tone to a Superman movie, a live action DCEU movie, I feel like this is what we more would have had. It wouldn't have been a Superman versus Superman fight in Metropolis. It would have been a moral conundrum at the end where basically Superman was like, he can't use his fist and snapping of necks to get out of the situation. So I don't know. What did you think of Man of Tomorrow?
It made me realize that there was such a high bar set with Flashpoint several years ago now that this film doesn't even fucking come anywhere close. I expected a lot better. I think DC do really good animation, some of the best out there, and this was quite kind of below par. It was an origin story, which is fine, but the animation, like, one of the things that I really fucking hated about this card. And by the way, I want to say something. I found it okay overall. I found it okay, but it's not memorable for me at all. I'm having to really go through my memory bank just to remind myself of this shit. But one of the things I really fucking hated about this film was the look of Metropolis. It was it was fucking awful.
It looked like Tomorrowland.
Flat, very flat Tomorrowland. I couldn't stand the look of Metropolis.
I agree with you, actually. That did bug me a lot when I first saw it. I'm like, are they on Krypton? Like, what's going on here? And yeah, it looks very futuristic and I was not feeling that either.
And that immediately took me out. The Parasite thing, okay, I guess. Superman was so useless against him that he was lucky that Parasite decided to give his life for all the shit that he fucking created in the first place. It's...
What did you think about Zachary Quinto as Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor was okay. The bit where he kind of sold Superman out at the end, it wasn't a smart Lex Luthor move, in my opinion. It would have been better if they seemed throughout the whole show that they were kind of like adversaries who had to be allies. You know what I mean? Then that sellout move at the end. This is not fucking Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. I expect it to be a lot more methodical than that. You don't fucking kill your contingency plan until the fucking until Parasite is dead. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a bit stupid of it, things like that. But it wasn't too bad, I guess. Not like I said, this was not a memorable story. This actually could have been fucking the pilot episode of a Superman TV series, and it could have been shrunk down to 30 fucking minutes. I mean, it looked that.
I disagree. I really enjoyed the moments in this movie that took time to like characterize Clark Kent, because like the Superman parts were okay for me, but like I enjoyed more of the Clark Kent portions of it.
I have to admit, I did too. I did like the Clark Kent because they made him out to be kind of a scruffy geezer. I like that. I like that. He's they're making him unappealing. When in his human form a bit. And I like that portrayal of Clark Kent.
Well, I also like Lois Lane trying to kind of being a dirty-handed reporter. She was trying to steal his story at one point. His exclusive.
Yeah. Like I don't mind that.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. As I said, I really liked a lot about this movie. I mean, I'm sad that you didn't like it. I was hoping you would like it more.
I don't mind it, but it's just not memorable, and it had a lot of things about it which kind of made me disappointed with it. And one more thing, regarding Superman, You know, it's very important that some of the people around him who works with him on reporting on Superman knows that he's Superman because, you know, for a long time, you know, when you think back at some of the Christopher Reeve stuff, he was a fucking creeper. You know what I mean? He's hanging around Lois. She's talking about Superman all the fucking time whilst he's Superman himself, and you know it's creepy when you think about it nowadays. It's very important that Lois Lane immediately knows who the fuck Superman is. That's why, in my opinion, if I could go back in time, in Superman 2, when Superman gives Lois Lane that kiss, I wouldn't have it erase her memory. I would let Superman 3 continue with the fact that she knows who Superman is, because that would be much better. And if you look at most of the modern stories regarding Superman nowadays, Lois Lane knows who the fuck Superman is. And that's how it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I
he's
agree.
not, he's just creeping around her then. He just feels wrong. You know what I mean? He just feels wrong. He's lying. And Superman says he doesn't lie. On one of his major things, he'll never lie. And he's lying right now, but pretend to be somebody else who he isn't.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. I mean, you know, he definitely was a bit awkward at certain points. I don't know. I mean, I as I said, I mean, you know, sometimes these things portray Superman as being this normal guy, like as Clark Kent. But honestly, like I know he grew up in Kansas, but he's really been sheltered. And I mean, every sheltered person I've ever met has been awkward as hell. I mean,
Superman is yeah, but I guess so. But I think if you're doing a modern version of Superman, I mean, the guy can fucking fly. Yeah, he can go anywhere in the world. You know what I mean? He can be there in seconds. You know what I mean? He can snap your fingers. He's in Australia. You know, sorry. So I'm not sure, honestly, regarding that. He's extremely intelligent. He can digest information very quickly. You know, he can write a report just like that and make it seem like a decent fucking report, which is why he's such a great journalist. You know, there's more to him than meets the eye, in my opinion, being Kryptonian and being on Earth. I think it's made him a lot more smarter. I mean, he's able to digest information and stuff like that. He's still a very emotional person. I mean, I think he's, you know, he can speak every language in the world, I believe. I think he knows.
Maybe
I think he knows every language. I think he knows every language on the world.
I guess it just depends on whose version of Superman.
No, but someone like Superman could easily pick up all this information. It's not a problem for him. I mean, like I remember in Superman 3, he was able to speak Italian. I've seen Supergirl speak foreign languages when she's in other countries. You know, so I think he's multilingual. I think he can speak every language as well. So
well, I don't know. I see. Here's the thing. I think that. And there's been theories, and I don't think it's ever been confirmed. So this is theory territory. And it kind of makes sense to me that the reason, and this doesn't apply to when people see him on TV, so I don't know how this would work. But the one theory out there is that Superman has a low-grade telepathy, that it's more subconscious rather than conscious. But it kind of blocks them from putting two and two together that Clark Kent is Superman. So like when he's around them and they're looking at the TV, it's Superman, but then Clark Kent's standing right next to him. Like it's kind of like a support ability. Like he doesn't even realize that it's happening, but it's
a good retcon. It's a good retcon. I'll tell you
it
that.
Is. I mean, but I mean, it goes back to that Superman can do anything. Like you know, he has that low grade telepathy so that he can basically make sure that nobody realizes that he's and I mean, is it kind of a stretch? Yeah. Is it an okay retcon? I think yeah, but I mean, you know, I like
that. I like in that animated film. I forgot which one it was. He's dating Wonder Woman. Superman and Wonder Woman are going out with each other, and they want to just be out in the public without having everyone harass them. So he introduces Wonder Woman to a pair of glasses.
Yeah. I remember that. That was, I think, Death of Superman.
Oh, that was so brilliant. That was so fucking brilliant. It's like, and she's so amazed. Like, I can't believe this is wonderful. I can just go out. Like Wonder Woman's just so amazed. All she did was wear a fucking pair of glasses and no one recognizes her. Brilliant.
I remember that was, I think, Death of Superman. One of my favorite animated movies, might I add. I know a lot of people.
That was a good one. No, that was a good one. I found it very weird. I always found it weird that Superman and Wonder Woman had a thing. I mean, they did it with this particular animated story.
Well, that was the comic books too. Like in
I know, but when it comes to some of a lot of the media, it's always been portrayed him and it's Wonder Woman and Batman. They've always been the item, always.
yeah.
So it felt a bit weird, And Superman's with fucking Lois Lane for fuck's sake. Why, you know what I mean? Why is he dealing with her? Like Batman's the fucking playboy. He's the fucking single lad. He's the fucking playboy. He's the one who fucks everything with a hole in it. You know what I mean? Not Superman. So
Yeah.
so.
All right, so I guess overall impressions. I mean,
I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for me, but that's because I'm a milquetoast viewer.
Fair. I give it a 5, and that's just because I didn't come when I finished watching it. I didn't think to myself, this is everything about this I despise. There were a lot of problems with it, but I didn't think to myself, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But considering what bars have been set prior to this, I was expecting better, and some of the animation, like I said, the City of Metropolis, a disgrace, an absolute disgrace.
No, I agree
Very
with you on
cheaply done.
Metropolis, but I went into it with low expectations, and I came out of it liking it a lot. So maybe that was just I don't know. Maybe I just go in with low expectations based off a trailer because I didn't think it was going to be much.
And once again, they couldn't help with the Batman reference. They just can't fucking help themselves, can they?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's got to be in there somewhere.
You know what I mean? It's like,
even if it's a reference, it's got to be.
Yeah, he's got to have a reference of some sort. Like, for fuck's sake. I rolled my eyes when I saw that and thought, fuck me, man. They just can't help themselves. They really can't. Lobo, Martian Manhunter, that's plenty. You don't need fucking Batman too. Okay, fine.
No, it was just a reference. But,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What did you think of? I don't think you mentioned what you thought of Lobo, and about his kind of. I mean, this is the first time Lobo.
I like Lobo, but the part at the end where he explained his origins and stuff like that, and how he killed the entire planet, and he's, I'm only joking. No, you're not joking, Lobo. No, you're not, mate. You killed all those motherfuckers, and you blew up that planet. You killed them all.
He suppressed it. He suppressed memories like Jason Todd.
So that kind of that's like another element to why I didn't like this, because like, for fuck's sake, you're gonna retcon that as well. You know what I mean?
Well, they're trying to make him look like an anti-hero.
No, but DC do that with too many of their popular villains. It's like fucking WWE. Oh look, we got a popular villain. Let's turn him face. You know what I mean? Oh god, I mean they've even kind of done that recently with the Joker movie by making her feel sorry for him and understanding why he's ended up being who he is. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. You can't. DC need to stop making their fucking villains into heroes. They've done it with Harley Quinn. They're doing it with Deadpool. They're doing it with Lobo.
They definitely, in the Harley Quinn show, the one thing I don't like about it is they're pushing her as like an anti-hero really hard, and it's like, no.
She's a villain.
She's a villain. And I mean, just because she's a villain doesn't mean she goes out and murders small children for fun. But it's like, if mobsters get in her way or cops get in her way, she'll bust them up. But we don't kill people. That's just not what we do. But I mean, that's a whole nother.
I've always wished they added some layers to her backstory, because I've always said that they should have made her as a kid like an Olympian gymnast or something like that. But
She not an Olympian gymnast, but she does have dance history, so at least she's got the basic.
Yeah, but the way she fucking flips around, man. You know what I mean? She looks like a top level gymnast, not necessarily a dancer. Sorry, gymnast. Not necessarily.
Eddie, you gotta break out your honky tonk accent for that.
Okay, yeah, but the point is, I just like, this woman is a fucking shrink. You don't think of fucking psychiatrists as turning into fucking mass killers who can flip around and stuff like that and crush you with their thighs. So they need to make that understandable, because like I said before, the whole point with Assault from Arkham was that she was only part of the Suicide Squad because she used to work in Arkham as a shrink. That made sense. Yeah, it never made sense why she was part of the Suicide Squad in the Suicide Squad movie, because she's a useless dumb bitch. So
I don't know about that, but okay.
Okay, obviously she's a PhD. She's a PhD.
Back on track, Sam.
No, but the point is that she's not got superhuman powers. Why is she with the Suicide Squad? Because she's crazy. They're all fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Well, she hanged around when she was Joker's sidekick. Who cares? You know what I mean? She's lucky to live to tell the tale. To be Joker's sidekick. But Joker treats his yeah. So these things irk me. Make it, put some relevance to this stuff, man. Make us understand why she's so good at being so good at the gymnastic side of of her fighting style because she was one, and I wish they would put that in some sort of story up for her regarding her origins, but they never really did that. And what is it with fucking people who are doctors in the fucking DC universe? They all like robbing banks. Fucking Harley Quinn, fucking Poison Ivy, Pamela Ivy. Like, why are they fucking?
I think they've changed that in recent years. Like Poison Ivy,
Mr. Freeze, Doctor Freeze, fucking Mr. Freeze, like robbing banks. And why are all these fucking doctors robbing banks? Why are all these scientists robbing fucking banks?
They need further research. They're using the the 5 finger discount. No, not 5 finger discount. 5 finger funding? The 5 finger funding.
And never ever fucking get yourself a shrink from Gotham because they'll either be Harley Quinn, they'll be fucking Scarecrow, or Hugo Strange, and you don't want that shit.
Okay, so so moving on to Deathstroke, you probably haven't seen this at all, right?
No, so this might be me departing now, I'm afraid.
Okay. I mean,
okay, but
do you want to depart or you just want to stay and listen? And
yeah, okay, I'll stay and listen. All right,
so this is your typical Deathstroke story. I mean, it starts off where Slade Wilson is, on a mission, and then Hive kidnaps his son to try to recruit Slade Wilson to Hive. Typical Hive stuff. Yep. This is definitely your like not your origin story of Slade Wilson, but like they go into his family, they go into his wife who is like ex special forces, and they were in the military together. And then so what happens is I don't know if you know or not, but his son Joseph got his voice box damaged in the scuffle with Hive. So so of course, Slade Wilson goes away because he feels like he's too dangerous for the family. Only for 10 years later for Joseph to get kidnapped again. Apparently, Deathstroke went around killing all of Hive over those 10 years and eradicated Hive, or so he thought. Where they were just kind of went underground and were building sleeper cells. Then they revealed themselves, and it was revealed that Slade's daughter, who was from this other fling back in the day, was Rose Wilson, who then kidnapped Joseph, renamed him Jericho because he's bringing the walls down with his telepathy.
Fantastic.
So I mean, it's and then so fights ensue, and his ex-wife his ex-wife at that point gets involved, and she's like specially trained again, and so she can fight Lady Shiva, which I was like, what? Like Lady Shiva of the League of Assassins. This bitch is fighting Lady Shiva and living for more than 3 seconds. Okay, we're gonna go with this. I feel like this was a very good depiction of Deathstroke throughout the entirety of the movie. I mean, it was pretty well done. And then Hive, and then the whole Wilson family having to fight Hive, and Hive was trying to take over the United States by kidnapping the president, and
they actually this doesn't necessarily sound like a Deathstroke film where it's a portrayal of a villain. It sounds like they're making him this is a very anti-hero Deathstroke by the sounds of things.
It is it's not anti-hero.
And it's DC making villains into heroes again.
No, here's the thing. It's not he's not an anti-hero because he's just killing people left and right. It's just Hive kidnapped his kids, and Hive is using his kids against him. So, I mean, I wouldn't say he's still doing missions in this where he's like killing for the highest bidder and stuff like that.
He's a mercenary, he's
a mercenary still. I mean, and I don't think he ever was a villain. He was in Titans or in Teen Titans, but the comic books and stuff like that.
It was more of it's funny because he was initially a mastermind, and now he's become a mercenary, which is a bit weird. He's like a mercenary mastermind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird how he's evolved since his debut in Teen Titans.
But yeah, so I mean, he's definitely, as I said, I don't feel like they portrayed him as a hero. This is just his adventure at getting his family back. And I
Yeah,
mean,
but that makes him look heroic, though, doesn't it?
it does. No, you're
You know
right.
what I
It
mean?
does. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, he was still killing people for money throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, but he's
I
probably doing it
mean,
for. He's reasoning it by thinking that he's doing it for his family.
yeah. Well, and I mean, he was going after Hive, because for his own gains. It wasn't. I see where you're coming from on that, but honestly, yeah, he wasn't doing Punisher work where it's like he was trying to just take scum off the streets. It was more just it was a story of Deathstroke and his family, and so I mean, he could still be a villain, but yeah, I mean, he's always been a mercenary. So it's like if let's say Batman or Bruce Wayne hired Deathstroke to kill Penguin, I still feel like he would do it. Like, since Deathstroke doesn't know Bruce Wayne is Batman, if let's say Bruce Wayne makes a hard
If
right.
Batman fucking hired him, he would do it.
No, I think he'd do it if Bruce Wayne did.
Now, of course he would, because he doesn't know Bruce Wayne's Batman. But if Batman fucking gave him the money, he would do it, because in the day, it's the money.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know if I would ever consider Deathstroke, at least modern Deathstroke, a villain. He's a mercenary. He'll kill whoever. I mean, he'll kill Joker if you pay him enough money to do it. So anyway, I know it's kind of a bland explanation. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a good portrayal of Slade Wilson and his story. But I mean, you're right. Like, it's not like anything out of the ordinary for a Deathstroke movie. So, but I mean, for Deathstroke's first romp in the animated, his solo animated movie, and there was no Batman reference. So
It's funny because I think when it comes to humanizing or anti-heroing villains, they play the family card. They've done that with Deadshot. They've done that with Deathstroke.
well, then here's the thing: you've got Deadshot and Deathstroke who are kind of in the same place where they're mercenaries. Like,
Yeah.
Deadshot will kill whomever as long as the price is right. Deathstroke will kill whomever as long as the price is right. The thing is that with both of them is if you start messing with their family, that's when they start doing work for free. And that's where you kind of get the anti-hero type feel. But I still feel like they're still mercenaries through and through. They'll kill good guys and bad guys if the price is right. And I feel like that's a lot different than an anti-hero, because like the Punisher is an anti-hero, or Ghost Rider is an anti-hero.
Punisher is a hero, man. Punisher is no anti-hero. Punisher is 100%. He would not hurt an innocent person at all.
Well, then what's your definition of an anti-hero? My definition of an anti-hero is someone who kills villains, doesn't bring them to justice.
It's anti-hero, isn't it? I mean, I've seen Batman do that.
He's an anti-hero.
I mean, when people think of superheroes, they don't think of super anti-heroes, do they? I mean, he's classified as a superhero.
Who is?
Not
Batman?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, it just depends on your classification. I mean, I consider Punisher an anti-hero. Basically someone who is willing to kill for the greater good.
I can see the argument 100% for Punisher being an anti-hero, but at the same time, knowing his background, I don't think of him as that personally. In the earlier incarnations of Frank Castle, he was a cop, and more recently he was a war vet. So I don't look at him. Like some of the people who are anti-heroes is like Snake Plissken. He's a prime example of an anti-hero. You know what I mean? He's a guy who's kind of he's trying to like better himself, but he's using his evil past as a way of bettering himself, if you know what I mean. And that's kind of like the anti-hero trope I look at. People call the Crow an anti-hero. He's not, man. He's not. If you're not, like if someone like Deadshot, in the way he's been portrayed as an anti-hero, he doesn't give a fuck about maybe killing someone in authority. You know what I mean? Regardless, and you probably appreciate if he did kill Amanda Waller, even though she's in fucking charge, even though she's part of the law, you would appreciate him killing Amanda Waller because she's a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Even though Deadshot himself is no fucking angel. yeah, at that particular moment you would understand it, even though it was the wrong thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the anti-hero parts of that's how I look at my anti-heroes.
Yeah. Okay. So the pendulum swings both ways. So, all right. Well, we've been on for 50 minutes. Got three good reviews out. If anyone's still watching, thank you for watching.
Oh, I got something to say. I got something to say.
Sam's got something to say.
First of all, later on I'm going to be watching Discovery. I'm not sure if you've seen the episode,
No, I have not yet.
but maybe tomorrow we could talk about it.
Let me watch it, and then we'll see.
Yeah, so there's a possibility of us talking about it, and I'm going to try and get Bob to join me for some Star Wars Squadrons if that's possible. I'm finally starting to enjoy the game because prior to me upgrading my ship, I was getting my ass handed to me on a silver fucking platter. But it's a bit more fun now. I'm still getting my ass handed to me, but my ship's a lot more fun to fly, and I fucking love it. I love speeding around like a fucking Speedy Gonzales. It's great. All right, that's me done. That's me done. Close
All right.
man.
Well, as a lot of you people know, me and Zam both have our gaming channels. I have Milquetoast Gaming over at twitch.tv/MilquetoastGaming, where me and Daydreamer play some gamey games. I have Milquetoast YouTube channel. Zam has his Twitch, which is
Zamario01.
Zamario01. So go check him out there. He's always
Don't worry about my YouTube. I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He's usually playing either Squadrons or FIFA or whatever else. We also have a Discord that you can get all of this information condensed in one place. One place. You just got it's on our Discord. We've got channels for our gaming, our streaming, our uploads, our everything at your fingertips. Right there. Fingertips. And yeah, so check out our Facebook, links in the description, and our Discord. And I think that's it. So, Zam, tell everybody peace out.
Peace out.
Later, y'all.